April 25th, 2024. Several preliminary matters before we actually start the hearing. First of all, just want to advise everyone that all of you received the same hearing date and time. And so we have currently on our docket today approximately 74 cases. Not all of them would be heard. Some of them may be resolved, but I'm saying that to you because I want you to understand that you may be waiting quite a while to have your case heard. We generally take them in order. And so if this is an issue for you, please be aware that you need to be present for your case to be heard. But it may, in fact, require that you wait. So I just want you to understand that. Second thing is that this is a formal hearing with a court reporter and other recordings of every aspect of the hearing. So only one person can be heard at a time. So I'd ask you to be patient and cooperate to allow the other individual to complete a position, their statement before you speak in response to a question. No one is permitted to blurt out a request or an answer without it being formally recognized. The third thing is that this is a formal hearing. So you are to present yourself as if you were in the courtroom. So that means no eating, no drinking, no reclining in your bed or your easy chair, or playing with your dog while you're presenting. We're asking gentlemen, please remove your hats when your case is called. And we ask that you be stationary. You can't walk or drive while your case is being heard. It disrupts the signal and it creates a visual effect that's not very appealing. And so you need to be seated in one stationary place so that we can hear your case. The fourth thing is that we will have a preliminary recitation by the law department of all matters that have been resolved. Some of them will be noted as moot or moot complied. If you need to understand the difference between those two things, please call the administrator's office. That number is on the correspondence that you've already received, or it will be on the decision letter that you get, and they will explain to you the difference between moot and moot compliant. That's all of our preliminary matters for the moment. Now we will have the board itself and our panelists introduce themselves, after which I will hear from the law department. Again, I am Kenneth Woodson, board chair. So board members,
Ralph Pincus, board member.
Steve Pettit, board member.
Ken Washington, board member.
Thank you very much. Law department, who's representing the law department today for give us our preliminary list?
Good afternoon, Chairman. This is Michael Rullo, R-U-L-L-O, on behalf of the City of Philadelphia.
Okay, good afternoon. What do you have for us?
Turning to number 20 on the list, appeal ending 214 5000 Richmond Street, a Ben Cardino Excavating Incorporated. My understanding is that appeal has been withdrawn by the appellant.
Okay, withdrawn. Thank you.
Turning to number 26, appeal ending 346 4050 Main Street, City Light Church. That can be marked moot.
Moot. Thank you.
Turning to number 28, appeal ending 616 118 West Cliveden Street, Gina Dade. That can be marked moot complied.
Thank you.
Turning to number 29, appeal ending 639 1512 West Cumberland Street, a Devinder Multani doing business as CP Contracting LLC, moot complied.
Thank you.
Number 30, appeal ending 668 5312 Ludlow Street, Stephen Spruill Sr., moot complied.
Thank you.
Number 32, appeal ending 706 2642 Waterloo Street, Steam Pink Development LLC, moot complied.
Just one correction. It's listed on our sheet as steampunk. P-U-N-K. Is that
I need
to
zoom in on my chart here. I missed that. It is steampunk.
Okay, and that's moot compliant.
Correct.
Thank you.
Turning to number 33, appeal ending 711 520 Tree Street, a cave-in Gorban. I'm going to spell this G-H-O-R-B-A-N-I-A-N. That can be marked moot complied.
Thank you.
Number 35, appeal ending 742 280 Ripka Street, Adam Coleman, moot complied.
Thank you.
36.
On the 280 Ripka Street.
Sir,
did-
would you introduce yourself and your relationship to this issue?
Hi, yes, my name is Adam Coleman. I'm the homeowner at 280 Ripka Street. I did comply with the
Okay,
order.
now we are not taking testimony, sir. We're listing the fact. If your matter, as I said it preliminarily, if it's moot compliant, it's resolved for today. You're done for today. There's no additional information being taken on that matter.
Okay, understood.
Okay, so you're welcome to sit through the hearing if you like, because it's an open hearing, but otherwise you excuse if you need to go on about your day and do other things.
Understood. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Have a good day. Okay, Mr. Rulo.
Number 36, appeal ending 7/5/2, 2030 East Tioga Street, Silverstone Estates Holdings LLC, moot complied.
Thank you.
37, appeal ending 7/7/3, 1622 South Conestoga Street, Blazilda Grapeseus, moot complied.
Thank you.
Number 39, appeal ending 8/28, 2416 North 56th Street, Kimberly Lenarski, moot complied.
Thank you.
Number 40, appeal ending 8/31, 3445 Amber Street, Renee Garcia III, moot complied.
Thank you.
41, appeal ending 9/26, 1700 Frankfurt Avenue, Marcus Goulart, moot complied.
Thank you.
Number 42, appeal ending 9/39, 5232 North 15th Street, William Brown, moot complied.
Thank you.
Number 43, appeal ending 9/99, 2302 West Cheltenham Avenue, Katie Ann Stewart, moot.
Thank you.
44, appeal ending 011, 2109 Somerset Street, IKEA Faust, moot.
Thank you.
Number 45, appeal ending 051, 8507 Bergen Terrace, Guao Ching Lin. Just for the record, I was putting into a breakout room with the appellant. He's adamant that this case must go forward. I did explain to him the meaning of moot and that this case is over today. But given those conversations, I did just want to note that for the record.
Okay, thank you. Is the appellant still on the line? Is he still present? Okay. If there's someone, if it appellant for 8507 Bergen Terrace is present, sir, that matter is resolved for today. We will not take any further testimony on the record. Thank you. Mr. Rulo.
Moving to number 46, 09, appeal ending 098, 42 East Sharpnack Street, Rachel Lester doing business as Inhabit Properties LLC, moot complied.
Thank you.
Number 47, appeal ending 114, 201 South 13th Street, Walnut Square Partners Limited, moot.
Thank you.
48, appeal ending 136, 5529 to 39 Hackford Avenue, Pankaj, I'll spell this, AWASARMOL, moot complied.
Move complied. Thank you.
Number 49, appeal ending 159, 216 South 43rd Street, Wenley Sun, moot complied.
Thank you.
Number 50, appeal ending 167, 3307 North 16th Street, Ash Management LLC, moot complied.
Move complied. Thank you.
41, appeal ending 350.
No, I believe you mean 51.
Excuse me, number 51, appeal ending 350, 5317 Jackson Street, Charlize Anderson, moot complied.
Thank you.
Number 53, appeal ending 517, 2234 Font Street, Scott D. Williams Sr., moot complied.
Wait a minute. I'm sorry. Move complied. My apologies. Okay.
Number 54, appeal ending 58317, excuse me, I'm leaving that to another colleague to handle. Number 55, appeal ending 595. This is located at the southwest corner of 6th and Chestnut Street. Sophia Aphantis, move complied.
Move complied. Thank you.
56, appeal ending 664, 1700 Annan Street, a Jun Ben Lin, moot complied.
Moot complied. Thank you.
57, appeal ending 905, 3025 North 11th Street, Abel Ortiz Melendez, moot complied.
Moot complied. Thank you.
58, appeal ending 121, 8300 Rowland Avenue, Isaac Rowan, moot complied.
Moot complied. Thank you.
59, appeal ending 376, 601 Emily Street, Leanna Slaughter, moot.
Moot. Okay. Thank you.
Number 62, appeal ending 090, 912 West Somerset Street, a Ricky Glenn, moot complied.
Thank you.
63, appeal ending 163, 220 North 13th Street, Fred Roberts, moot complied.
Thank you.
64, appeal ending 202, 5254 Walnut Street, a Salamowit Getachew, doing business as a POA for Fesha, moot complied.
Moot complied. Thank you.
65, appeal ending 322, 6428 North Sydenham Street, Frederick Seymour, moot complied.
Moot complied. Thank you.
66, appeal ending 582, 3700 Lancaster Avenue, 3600 Lancaster Project Owner LLC, moot complied.
Okay, that's 3700, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Thank you.
67, appeal ending 707, 1417 West Erie Avenue, AJ Singhal, moot complied.
Moot complied. Thank you.
68, appeal ending 818, 1708 South Oriana Street, Jenna Doherty, moot complied.
Moot complied. Thank you.
69, appeal ending 963, 201 West Hunting Park Avenue, 199 Hunting Park.
Okay, well, just one moment. I think we need to mute someone. Okay, let's proceed. Thank you.
199 Hunting Park. I don't see an LLC there. Is the appellant, moot complied.
Okay, just one moment. Would you repeat that one, please? I missed something.
Yes, that was number 69, appeal ending 963, 201 West Hunting Park Avenue. The appellant is listed as 199 Hunting Park.
Okay.
In LLC or incorporated. It's moot complied.
Okay, thank you.
70, appeal ending 059, 2119 Gould Street, Ahmed Sharaf, moot complied.
Thank you.
71, appeal ending 166, 141 South 52nd Street and Walnut Street, Parvin Akhtar, moot complied.
Thank you.
72, appeal ending 246, 2821 Cantrell Street, Vincent Edward, moot complied.
Thank you.
That does it for the general preliminary matters. I do have some more specific for myself, and then I imagine my colleagues do as well.
Okay, let's do this so that we can maintain the order. Does anyone else have any preliminary matters that we need to attend to before we hear the list itself? Please use the raised hand sign so that I can respond to you. Okay. Let's start with Thomas Lutza. And I'll get it right eventually, Mr. Lutza.
It's all right, members of the board. I don't mind. Good afternoon. I had a preliminary matter with case number 34.
34?
Yes, that is ending in 150, or sorry, that was the L&I number. It's ending in 1734 on 4600 Linmore Avenue. We had a request for a continuance from the appellant, and the city had no objection to that continuance today.
Okay. All right. So that one will be continued. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
All righty. Mr. Leonard Ryder. We aren't hearing you, sir. I'm not sure what's happening.
Sure. Sorry, had it.
Okay.
Just with respect to oh shoot, I just had it up. Yes, number 54 on the list, HA 2022-002583, 1711 Rittenhouse Square. Mr. David Orphanides, I believe, is present on that matter. This was, I guess, a prophylactic appeal that was taken in relation to a matter that was a zoning matter, primarily a zoning matter that was resolved in the context of the zoning board appeal. So I believe this should just be marked moot, but I'm not 100% sure if Mr. Orphanides is just withdrawing the appeal. But in any case, we agree that it's the case is resolved.
Okay, Mr. Orphanese, are you present? I don't see his
I
image.
am, I am
Oh, there you
present.
are.
Yep.
Okay, what is your position in this?
Yeah, I mean, the case was marked administratively closed by the city of Philadelphia, and I would just have the case, I'd just have it marked as moot.
Okay, thank
No,
you.
there's
That's
no,
fine.
whether it's the violations being resolved or the case being resolved, it's resolved, so it's just moot at this point from both
Thank you very
sides.
much.
Yep,
Thank you.
thank you.
Okay.
May be excused.
Yes, sir. Have a good afternoon.
You too. Good to see you.
Okay. Mr. Lee Begelman, please.
Yeah, good afternoon, members of the board. I have preliminary matter regarding two appeals, numbers 16 and 17 on the list.
16 and 17?
Yes, they're from the same individual, two different properties. The first one is appeal number ending in 132 regarding 3729 Lancaster Avenue. And the second one, number 17, appeal number ending in 135 regarding 1603 Frankfurt Avenue. The appellant submitted a continuance request earlier this week. The city does not oppose those continuance requests. I believe they need legal counsel.
Okay.
I just wanted to confirm whether the board
Yes.
discuss those. Yes.
Both those matters should be noted as continued.
Great, thank you. One other matter, I don't know if someone, find the number. One moment. Appeal number ending, appeal 52 on the list, number
52?
Ending in 2449 regarding 4952 Reno Street.
Yes.
Someone was here for that property. I would like to discuss the matter in a breakout room, but I don't see anyone, but I wanted to know if you could call that out.
Okay, I will call that out as soon as we get through the preliminary matters and come back to it.
Great, thank you.
Okay. Already. Okay, Miss Michelle Reinhardt.
Good afternoon, board. Thank you. I have two administrative matters
Okay.
to address. The first is number 10 on the list. This
Number 10.
is
Okay.
appeal ending 000382 regarding 2300 South Broad Street. Applicant Abdul Hassan. There is a joint request for a continuance. I don't see opposing counsel on the hearing right now. It was Attorney Joe Consul. He just entered late this morning, is my understanding.
Okay.
And I know he did say that he had a conflict that may prevent him potentially from signing on. So
Okay. How is he spelling his last name?
C-O-N. You know what? I apologize. I'm gonna look that up because I don't want to.
Okay.
I don't
Okay.
want to give the wrong information.
Excuse me, Mr. Chair. I can tell you I'm very familiar with Mr. Consul. It's C-O-N-S-O-L-E.
C-O-N-S-O-L-E. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. So we will note that as a joint continuance or joint request for continuance.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Is there anything else, Ms. Reinhardt?
Yes, the second matter is number 19. This is appeal ending 000211 regarding 417 West Cumberland Street, appeal from AAH Group LLC. My understanding is that they do not currently have an attorney. I gave them the information in order to make a continuance request, but was not copied on one. So I am unaware of whether that was made. This is a first listing though.
Okay. Is anyone present representing AAH Group LLC?
It looks like there's a Mr. Andre.
Yeah, hi, Andre. Yeah, I'm present. We're seeking counsel, so we'd like continuance.
Okay, sir, would you give us your last name, please?
Hlushan, Hlushan.
Okay. All right. So you're requesting a continuance to obtain legal counsel.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. And we'll note it as continued.
Thank you.
Thank
Have a
you.
good
That is
day.
my last administrative matter. Would I be able to go into a breakout room with Mr. Hushin?
Sure, Mr. Hushin, you available to go in a breakout room with Ms. Reinhardt?
Yes.
Okay, just note your screen. The administrator will give you a breakout room. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Caroline Curley.
Good afternoon, board. Just one preliminary matter. I believe it's number 23 on the list. That involves Benchmark Construction Group. Appeal number HA 2023-004303. That matter has been settled. A copy of the settlement was sent to the board earlier this afternoon. The terms of the settlement in short are that the violations cited in the notice of violation are affirmed and that the fine to be imposed is adjusted to $7,000.
Okay, city affirmed with a $7,000 fine. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay,
Mr. Chair, may I ask Ms. Curley, was that 7,000 or 2,000?
7.
7.
okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Mrs. Sean Logue, please.
Good afternoon, board members. There are two preliminary matters I want to call your attention to.
Yes.
The first is case number 15, appeal ending in 0127, address 211 Vine Street, appellant Alexandra Bloom.
Yes.
Matter has been resolved by a settlement, which can
Okay.
city affirm with a $150 fine.
Okay, city affirmed $150 fine. Thank you very much, sir.
And the second case is case number 15 on our list, appeal ending 4389, address 316 South 7th Street.
Oh, wait, South, that's number 50, you saying?
The first one that I read was case number 15. This is case number 25.
25, okay.
Correct. And
Right, 25, okay.
the appellant is a Naomi Alter Ohayon doing business as Masada Custom Builders. And that has also been resolved by agreement, which can be marked city affirm with a $150 fine.
Okay, thank you. Alrighty.
I confirm that
Excuse me, Mr. Chair. Mr. Logue, was that a agreement sent in? I saw your other one, but I didn't see this one.
Yes, I sent both of those, I think, only to Mr. Wade.
Okay.
Were both amounts for 150? I thought I had 500.
I'm so sorry. I did misspeak on the first one. So I'll just read that again. My
Yeah.
apologies.
Okay,
That's case number 15, appeal ending in 0127, appellant Alexandra Bloom. That was settled for $500. My
okay. City affirmed $500 fine. Okay, thank you. Okay, Mr. Rulo. You're muted, Mr. Rulo.
Thank you, Chairman.
Yep.
If I could direct the board's attention to number 22, ending 236, 438 West Susquehanna Avenue.
Yes.
Kravitz. There was a continuance request from appellant's counsel. I just wanted to confirm that it has been continued.
Yes, just wanted to know if there's any opposition from the city?
No.
Okay, that matters noted as continued.
Okay, and then turning to numbers, I'll address them together. Numbers 73 and 74, ending 679 and 682, both concerning 6203 Chew Avenue. The first appellant is a Tiffany Coles. The second appellant is a Karima Lucas.
Okay, now we have two different addresses on our list though, 6203 and 6205.
Excuse me, I would ask, my understanding is that one of these, there was a request to withdraw the appeal. I think I've actually mismarked this. Mr. Wade had indicated that there were one of these that that was being withdrawn.
No, there was no official request. She was possibly going to stay on, or we would have it listed in error, and it would be brought before.
Was that Miss Lucas or Miss Coles?
I do not know at this time.
Okay, so I have them listed both as listed in error and wrong venue.
Yes, these would need to be directed to BBS.
Okay, so I guess the issue administratively, Mr. Wade, how will you mark these?
We could just mark them as listed in error today, and the appeals will be reviewed and properly and scheduled before the proper venue.
Okay, let's do this then. Mr. Wade, would you read into the record those 73 and 74?
Case number 73, hearing appeal ending 0679, 6203 True Avenue, Tiffany Coles,
Listed in there.
listed in error.
And read the next one.
Case number 74, hearing appeal 0682, 6205 True Ave, Karima Lucas, listed in error.
All right, thank you very much. So those matters are resolved. Is there anything else, Mr. Rulo?
Excuse me, yes, for number 61, appeal ending 025, 4037 West Girard Avenue, Holly Properties LLC. That is an imminently dangerous case and would need to also be directed to BBS.
Okay, well now we're showing it's listed in error again. Another note, Mr. Wade.
Yes.
How are we handling this?
The same. I'll read case 60 and case 61 in.
Okay,
Case 60, hearing appeal ending 3977. 5306 Harbison Avenue, New Cortland Properties, listed in error. And case number 61, hearing appeal ending 4025, 4037 West Girard Avenue. Holy Properties LLC, listed in error.
okay, thank you very much. Okay, thank you. Anything else, Mr. Rulo?
That does it for my preliminary matters.
Okay, thank you. Mr. John Wizorek.
Thank you, Board Chair, and
Yes.
good afternoon, board members. This is regarding number 24 on the list, appeal ending in 4512. The address is 1828 Frankfurt Avenue, appellant Vasility Tushev, doing business as Northeast Contractors Incorporated. For this case, there's a city affirmed by agreement and a $1,500 fine.
$1,500 fine. Okay, thank you very much.
I was also going to request a breakout room, but I can hold that for later.
Okay, all right, thank you. You can do that when the matter's called, I guess. Okay, Miss Milani.
Mr. Chair, what case number was that? The $1,500 fine?
That was number 24.
Thank you.
Okay. Ms. Nessich?
Good afternoon, Chairman. Just a few preliminary matters for the Water Department. Case number 1, 5632 Windale Ave, appellant Janet Lloyd, 0016. That is moot.
Moot, thank you.
Number 5, 16 South Kings Oak Lane, appellant's name Jim Conway, 0326. That matter is also moot.
Moot, thank you.
I'm sorry, I missed that. Which case is that?
Number 5.
Thank
16
you.
South Kings Oak Lane. And for my final preliminary matter, case number 7, 2036 Bayer Ave, Nazareth Kashishian, 3224. That is moot complied.
Moot complied. Okay, thank you.
The other matters the city is ready to move forward with.
Yes. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Christopher Johnson.
Good afternoon, board. There are a few preliminary matters with regard to appeals 11, 12, 13, and 14.
Okay.
These are the appeals related to 4 illegal dumping incidents that were committed by and NOVs issued to Tyrables Tire Shop. The appeals were filed by a Mr. Lamar Cooper. I have no idea how he is related to Tyrables Tire Shop, but so the city would be objecting to standing on that case unless a showing was made. I'm not sure anyone has appeared on that case. The city had also sent in a request to continue those matters due to the unavailable of Detective Berner, who's currently out of the country on a pre-planned vacation.
Okay, so let's take these matters in order then. Is there anyone present? Is Lamar Cooper present? Or anyone else representing Tyrables Tire Shop? Anyone present? Okay. Mr. Johnson, have you communicated to the
I had sent a couple of emails, and Mr. Wade had emailed as well to see what their position was on a continuance. I had no reply to my email to the Mr. Cooper's email.
Okay, so we'll continue it based on the city's request because the unavailability of witness for HA 2023-001-763, HA 2023-001-764, HA 2023-001-765. Oh, and HA 2023-001-766. I believe that's the list, Mr. Johnson.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, those matters are continued.
Mr. Chair, I just want to note for the record, depending on what type of entity this is, counsel may be required.
Yes, and that was my reason for asking Mr. Johnson if he had any communications with the appellant.
And then I had emailed, and again, I did not receive a response.
Okay, thank you. Already? So who do we have? So do we have one? Mrs. Thomas Lutz, you have some additional matter?
I did, yes. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I see that the appellant for case number 21, ending in 0216, has joined the hearing. I was wondering if it will be possible to be placed into a breakout room with Mr. Zhang.
Yes. This way, can you provide a room available?
Yeah.
If there's a room available? Okay, thank you.
Thanks very much.
Okay. All right, Mr. Rulo, you have an additional matter?
Yes, I just wanted a clarification on number 8, which is appeal ending 669, 1628 West Spark Street, appellant James Nelson.
Yes.
My understanding that I just wanted to confirm that was listed solely for a decision today and that the board would not be hearing additional testimony or argument.
Okay, and that was we wanted to hear from you. I believe our records indicate that record was created and we took testimony in previous hearings.
That's correct, and there was a full argument on that. I just wanted to confirm that this was just going to be a vote because I do not have.
Yes, let me ask Mr. James Nelson, are you present?
Yes, I am present, and the last I did have to cancel the January one because I was in the middle of tax season, but I do have evidence and things I wanted to present that I was not able to upload back in October or November because I didn't know how, but I did send that to where it was said to send.
Wait, Mr. Nelson. The issue here, though, and I got to hear from the city because if the record is closed, that may not be possible. Mr. Rulo, what was your understanding of the final outcome of the last hearing we held?
My recollection of the hearing in October is that the board continued it to provide Mr. Nelson with an opportunity to speak with neighbors and other folks. But it did not continue this for an opportunity for further testimony or argument. This was then continued, as Mr. Nelson noted, because he was unavailable. I think and at that last hearing, I thought that the board also confirmed that it was just relisting this so that it could render its decision and vote. So to the extent that the board is going to be hearing additional testimony or argument now, the city would have to request a continuance. To my knowledge, I have not received those additional documents, nor do I have a witness here today to rebut that, because it was my understanding that there would not be testimony or argument today.
Okay, before we make a decision on that, I will ask Mr. Nelson. Mr. Nelson, Universal Churches is the label? Okay, it's a little confusing, so I just wanted.
I'm sorry. Yes, I'm on my other computer. I didn't want to tie up my main one.
Okay, Mr. Nelson.
Yes.
The information that you say you have today, was that an information that was not available to you at the time of the hearing?
It was what I could not upload. That was when I had confusion trying to upload and then found out that I had to send it to their website, and I did not know that. So I have all that, pictures, and I have the signed documents from the city that the neighbors all gave me, those that I was able to get. I have like maybe about 8 neighbors that was able to send it into the city at that time when we went to appeal back in 2019 or 20 when this first started. So I
Okay,
do
let's
have those documents signed and stamped from the
okay.
city, from the neighbors.
Okay, okay. I'm not sure if that will change things, but let's do this, Mr. Rulo, because we have asked for the notes of testimony, which the board is in the process of completing this review. And given Mr. Nelson's statement and the seriousness of this matter, I would then agree with you to allow the city. We're going to continue this and allow the city to organize this witness and to. We will review we will review the notes of testimony and take whatever appropriate additional testimony is needed at the time. Okay.
Yes, my one item that I would note is that we still have not received any of these documents that have been referenced. So
Okay.
we need to, I would say that we need to receive those. And I would just also note for the record that to the extent that this goes forward at a future hearing, I would strenuously object to anything being introduced that was not provided to the city, as there have now been multiple opportunities to provide those in advance of the hearing.
Thank you. Mr. Nelson, what that means is that you have to make certain that you have uploaded the documents appropriately. If you need to, call Mr. Rulo or send him an email to make certain that he has them, because if he has not received them, we will not hear them. We will not allow those documents to be presented.
Okay, and can
Okay?
I ask one thing before we go, since I'm ready to be cut off, and that's fine. Can I ask the documents that I am presenting from the city, because it was, and I know he doesn't have any testimony towards this, but the documents were not uploaded on their end. That's why I have the real copies physically in my, yeah,
Mr.
but I did
Nelson?
upload them, but I'm talking about originally 4 years ago, because when this case came back, when you guys called us.
Mr.
But
Nelson,
sorry.
you make an argument. What I'm
Okay.
asking you to do, whatever documents you have that you want the city to review, that you would like to present as to support your position, you must have them uploaded and provided to Mr. Rulo.
Okay, can I get his name and spelling? Because I don't know how to even contact this.
I can put him in a breakout room.
Yeah, we'll put you two in the breakout room and you can discuss how to do that, okay?
Thank you.
Okay. Alrighty. Anyone else before I go to the list of issues that the board itself has? Okay, thank you. The board does have several questions regarding matters. Just before I move on, 3669 1628 West Spark Street will be continued. That's James Nelson. That matter will be continued. Okay, number 9. We have 0716 5237-39 Market Street, Lower Price Store Incorporated. Who's handling that matter?
Good afternoon, members of the board. Jeffrey Cohen for the City of Philadelphia in this matter.
Mr. Cohen, and also is there Stephen Durham representing the appellant? Is anyone present representing the appellant?
I did not see him in the participants list.
Okay.
Mr. Durham, are you here?
Well, the issue though, Mr. Cohen, is that based on all the information we've received to date, I'm not certain we should even be hearing this case today. And so I just want to hear the city's position.
That was actually going to be the city's opening position. Mr. Durham did send an email to this board withdrawing this matter. I can put the email on my screen if you'd like to see it right now.
Okay, please do.
So this is the city's exhibits packet, which I emailed a few days ago to this board and to Mr. Durham, which also served as a reminder of today's hearing. The email is here on page 8. This was actually from over a year ago. Mr. Durham emailed Kim Mathis at the time, who worked for the board, and myself, saying after speaking with Jeffrey Cohen, kindly withdraw that request.
That isn't what I'm seeing. I see a late repeal. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes, that's the late appeal request for this matter.
Okay, but the note above it, dated February 8th, 2023.
Is it this note or is
Yes.
it the one?
Yes, that's what I'm trying to understand. Which date is this kind of withdraw that request?
Sorry, the Wednesday, February 8th at 10:43 a.m. was Mr. Durham's email to Kim Mathis and to myself. And that was following an email from Kim Mathis just a few minutes earlier at 10:23 a.m. saying, please find this late appeal request which you submitted.
Okay, but did he then? Earlier he had submitted a request for a late appeal.
Yes, and actually, if
Okay.
I can get into that, I'm going to go up top here to what's on page 3 in the city's packet. This is the actual appeal form that he submitted, Mr. Durham submitted, and you can see these violation dates of
Correct.
10/23
Yeah,
of 2020 and 5/4 of 2021. This was submitted in February 7th of 2023. If we actually take a look at the attachment that was included that stamped February 2nd received, these are CVNs. They're code
Okay.
violation notices issued for tobacco sales to minors or tobacco sales without ID, which is actually not under this board's jurisdiction. It's under the jurisdiction of the Office of Administrative Review.
Yes.
And that, Mr. Durham and I spoke about that. He actually filed a CCP case about that matter, and that had already been litigated. And I believe that's why he withdrew this appeal, or possibly I believe he withdrew this appeal because of the board's lack of jurisdiction, and then later we went before the Court of Common Pleas.
Okay.
I believe that's the appropriate timeline.
Okay. All right. Just before I take any action, you can close that out.
Thank you.
Just want to get a quick reaction from our counsel. Ms. Emerson, is it your position that we can rule on this matter today without the presence of Mr. Stephen Durham?
I think that's fine as long as he was given notice, and I understand from Mr. Cohen that he sent notice, and if Mr. Wade could just confirm that notice was sent as well.
Okay. Mr. Wade, if you could confirm on the record.
Notice was both sent to Low Price Superstore at 200 South Lynn Boulevard. And Stephen Durham at 320 West Front Street, Media, PA.
Okay, thank you very
Sent to both on 3/4/2024.
Thank you very much. Based on that information, this matter will be is based on Mr. Durham's own request. This matter has been withdrawn and will not be heard any further.
Thank you very much, members of the board.
Okay,
If it pleases
thank
the
you.
board, may I be excused?
Yes, sir. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you. Have a good afternoon, everyone.
Okay, and let's go down to number 18. It's 0204-1409 North 21st Street. Pincoid Ironworks Incorporated. Who's representing the city in this matter?
Good afternoon, members of the board. Thomas Guyutsa for the city.
Okay, just one moment, sir. Is anyone present representing Pincoid Ironworks Incorporated? The issue here for us is that we believe this is a corporate entity and therefore requires legal counsel. Any position on that, sir?
Yes, the city's position, of course, is that we would want there to be counsel as it is required by the board. No counsel has entered, to the best of my knowledge, and we have not heard from the respondent.
Okay.
Service.
So the service was made, Mr. Wade?
Appellant's address was 4 School Lane, Fallcroft, Pennsylvania. Service was sent to 4 School Lane on 3/6/2024.
Okay. And so I guess the options here are to continue it or to, in this instance, we also had an option of, I guess.
Yeah, the city would request a city affirm
Chairman.
for failure to appear in this case.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
there seems to be James Heldring trying to
Okay.
talk.
Okay. Is Mr. Heldring, do we know, Mr. Galuzza, is Mr. Heldring is related to this matter?
I do not believe so.
Okay, Mr.
and
Wade, would you unmute Mr. Heldring and see if that's the case?
I'll send them a prompt.
Mr. Heldring, are you related to this matter we're working on?
Yes, I am.
What is your relationship to this?
I'm the owner of the business,
And the name of the business?
Pencoid Ironworks.
Okay. You're required to have an attorney as a corporate entity, and so we can't hear it without an attorney representing your interests.
Okay, I did ask, we called and asked whether that was mandatory and they didn't know. They said, I
Okay.
can't answer that, so we proceeded hoping not, but if you're telling me mandatory, then that's different.
Yeah, that's what the language clearly states in the letter. That is
It
required.
does. and we
Mr. Chairman, if I may, Mr. Heldring, you said you're the owner. Is Pencoid Ironworks a corporation and you're an officer of that entity?
I am the president of Pencoed Ironworks. It's a corporation, yes.
Yes, okay.
All right, thank you. So, Mr. Heldring, you will need to get an attorney. We will continue with the hearing schedule for today to give you time to secure legal counsel.
Alternatively, I guess as opposed to getting a lawyer, I could just pay the fine or request a reduction in the fine. Is that an option?
Oh, sure. Yeah, absolutely. You
Like
can
a
withdraw
breakdown?
your appeal and pay whatever fine that was been imposed.
But an option does not exist to request a reduction. There was
Well, not to the board. You can discuss it with the council representing this the city and or the administrative office you've been dealing with. Would you like to go in a breakout room with legal counsel to have a discussion?
Sure.
That'll
Okay.
be fine with me as well.
Okay, so we can put them in a breakout room. Thank you. But it's for today's hearing has been continued. Okay. Actually, number 4. No, but nope. Strike that. Let's move on.
Chairman,
Yes.
if I may, I actually have an update on the Spark Street case number 8.
Okay.
To my astonishment, that has actually, as of yesterday afternoon, was marked complied. There is no continuance necessary. The board can mark that matter as moot complied.
Oh, Mr. James Nelson.
Yes, I informed him of that in the breakout room. I believe he has since logged off. I don't see him, but
Okay.
that can be marked moot complied.
So we will note, so let's formally do this then. HA-2023-003-669-1628 West Spark Street, James Nelson, is moot complied. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, thank you very much. So it will not be a requirement to further review the notes of testimony. Okay, I believe that represents all our preliminary matters. Anything else before we go through the list for hearings today? Okay. So Mr. Wade, where do we start?
Case number 2.
Okay.
Hearing appeal ending 0089-1613 Fillmore Street, Michael Gardner.
Okay, and who's representing the city?
That would be me, Chairman. Good afternoon, Board. Melanie Nezich for the City of Philadelphia.
Okay, Ms. Nesich, do you have a witness today?
I do. Mr. Roderick Cook is on the line.
Okay, Mr. Cook, if you raise your right hand, sir, so that you may be sworn. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give today be the truth so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Thank you very much. You can place your hand down. Is anyone present representing the interest of the property, 1613 Fillmore Street? Michael Gardner. Anyone present? Anyone present?
He's muted.
Okay. Mr. Gardner, if you would unmute yourself. Mr. Gardner, please unmute yourself. Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to do, sir.
You succeeded.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now. Also, if you would just, yes, the light behind you is just blurring your image. That's so it's a little difficult there. I just want you to adjust your film up, your screen up a little bit. Will you raise your right hand so that you may be sworn? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give today be the truth so help you God?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. You can place your hand down. Okay, alrighty. Mr. Gardner, just before we begin, though, what is your relationship to 1613 Fillmore Street?
I'm the owner of the house, sir.
Anyone else's name on the deed?
No.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay, Ms. Nessich?
Just some opening remarks, if it pleases the board.
Yeah.
There was a notice of defect issued by the Philadelphia Water Department on December 19th, 2023 for a leak on the water supply pipe. Issued by PWD in violation of 13502 section 2. The appellant appealed on January 5th of 2024. A reinspection was performed the next day on January 6th of this year. And the city would like to call Roderick Cook.
Okay.
And if I may, board members, share my screen.
Yes.
Okay. And while I'm doing that, Mr. Cook, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Can you see my screen?
Not yet.
Not yet, yes.
Not yet? All right, just a sec. Sorry. How about now?
Yes.
Yes.
Just
Okay,
just need
is
you to
that-
magnify it a bit.
Will do. Okay. Starting at the top right here. Okay, Mr. Cook, good afternoon. Could you please state your name and spell your name for the board and for the record?
My name is Roderick Cook, Roderick Cook.
And by whom are you employed?
The Philadelphia Water Department.
And in what capacity? What's your job?
I am the emergency unit supervisor.
How long have you been employed with the water department?
13 years.
That's great. Thank you. So if we're looking at the screen right now, do you recognize this kind of record?
Yes.
Yeah. Can you explain what kind of record this is?
Well, this is a notice of defect, which will alert the resident of an issue that had a plumbing issue with their property.
Right. And it says leak on water supply between 4 to 6. What does that indicate?
Well, that is saying that there's a leak somewhere between the curb stop and the water meter, or the curb stop and the home. Curb
Right.
stop being on the footway.
Okay. Thank you. I'm just going to move on to the next page. And you got a chance to review this record as well, correct?
Yes.
And this one is associated with 1613 Fillmore.
Yes.
Right. This one is indicating that the NOD was delivered.
Yes, it says attached and served. So it's attached to the work order that is returned to the office and served to the address.
Thank you. Here is another NOD. I'm going to move past this one really quick and move down past the final. This is all in the board's packet. Here are some notes. Are you familiar with the note keeping?
Yes, these are entered by clerks after inspections are made in the field.
Right. And here it just sort of reiterates the defect and re-inspections, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And as far as our records show, as far as your records show, have the repairs been done to this address?
No, according to this work order here, is showing that we tried to re-energize the service to the property, and the sound didn't stop, which means that the leak didn't stop. So there was nothing inside to stop the water from running. So we shut it back and served the final notice.
Right. Thank you. In your opinion, based on your years of work with the Philadelphia Water Department, was this notice correctly issued to the property at 1613 Fillmore?
Yes.
All right. I have no further questions for you, Mr. Cook, at this time.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mr. Gardner, do you
Yeah.
have any cross-examination questions of Mr. Cook?
Yeah, I want to, because this
Mr.
happened to
Gardner,
me.
Mr. Gardner,
Yes.
let's understand something. We need everyone to be calm and be direct and ask a specific question. Now, you can present your argument later, but for the moment, we just need you to ask a question, okay? If you have any.
Yeah, was the property ever red tagged?
I'm not familiar with that expression.
Yeah, because I had an issue with my plumbing before a few years back, and I got
Mr.
on the
Gardner,
help.
he responded that
Okay.
he wasn't
Okay.
familiar. You have any
Okay.
further questions?
Okay, sir. You have to understand, I'm not used to this. I'm just an ordinary citizen.
So we're going to help you along. That's what I'm doing. Do you have any additional questions?
Yeah, I don't have a plumbing problem.
Okay, do you have any additional questions of Mr. Cook based on his testimony?
No, not based on his testimony, sir. No.
Okay, just for a moment. We'll go back to the city's lawyer and see if she has any additional witnesses.
No, but if I may, could I ask a couple of follow-up questions? With
Sure,
Mr. Cook
please.
that might be beneficial for the board and the appellant.
Yes.
Mr. Cook, is this type of defect the type that a homeowner might not notice inside the home?
Well, no, based on the initial inspection, it shows that there was 6 feet of water in the basement. So that would be noticed.
Okay.
And yeah, and this was called into the emergency desk. We didn't discover it. It was reported to us as a vacant broken pipe, meaning that it was a vacant property with a broken pipe inside.
Right.
Mhm.
And I think I have no further questions for you. I hope that was illuminating.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, just a quick question.
Sure.
Inspector Cook, which property has the water in it? Did Mr. Gardner's property have the water in the basement, or did another property have the water in it?
Yes, the property indicated here with the address 1613 Fillmore. If there was a different address that had the water in the cellar, it would be indicated within the comments causing WC to such and such address. But we found WC here at this property. I'm sorry, water in the cellar at this property.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right, Mr. Gardner, you may share with us your understanding of the facts, and so that we can hear your side of it.
Okay. I don't have a plumbing problem. There's no leak inside of my house. As I wrote in my appeal, I had a tenant that I got evicted out. He got back in the house. He cut the water on. He flooded out the house. He filled up the tub and he broke the faucet in the kitchen. And all the water ran for the whole weekend. That whole weekend it was raining. And when I got there Monday, that's when I talked to my neighbors and they told me that they called the water department to cut the water off. And I said, okay, I appreciate it. And then I went inside the house and I found out that my tenant had got back in the house, turned on all the water and flooded out the whole house.
Okay.
It was when I called in to the water department, it was never 3 feet. They said they had a report. It was 3 feet and 6 feet of water in my house. If that was the case, sir, my hot water heater wouldn't have been hurting, but it wouldn't have been working, and my heating system would not been working.
Okay. Do you have any photos or anything of the condition of the property at the time?
At that time, no.
Yes.
The only photos that I had was for the court when I was getting the guy evicted. I didn't take any photos for this hearing that we have now.
Okay.
But
have you hired a plumber to investigate the violation notice that you got?
No, because y'all saying that I have a leak inside my house. I don't have a leak.
No. The violation notice is that you have a leak on the outside, a supply line leak from the water main to the meter. That's what was testified to a few moments ago by Mr. Cook.
Yes, sir, but they supposed to put dye in the thing so that they can see a leak.
Not necessarily. They do use different tests to do that. Now, what you can do, you can ask Mr. Gardner how they determined the leak, the fact that there's a leak. Why don't you? We can do that, Mr. Cook. Explain again how the water department determined that there was a leak on the line.
Well, we determined that water is flowing, that it's a leak by sound. And the best way I can describe it is as if you've had your toilet running and you can hear it, and you hear that constant hum. Then that's what we hear when we use our key or the sounding rod to see if we have sound on the service. So we found sound on the service. We put the service in a closed position and the sound stopped. So that indicates that we were able to stop the leak at the curb, and that gives us the shut between 4 and 6. That's how that's indicated.
Okay. All right,
Mr.
thank
Chairman,
you.
I have a question for Mr. Cook.
Yes.
Mr. Cook, is it possible if inside the house and the faucets were on, you would still hear the noise?
Yes.
That's what Mr. Garner pretty much claiming.
Yeah, yeah, the guy turned on everything and flooded out the house. Everything. He
Mr.
broke
Gardner,
the
I'm
faucet, he
speaking.
turned the
Mr.
faucet
Gardner, I'm
on.
speaking.
Mr. Gardner.
I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry.
So if I can, if the faucet is broke within the house, then there's a broken pipe within the vacant property. And that is what is considered a vacant broken pipe. So we needed to shut the water off at the curb to get the water to stop.
Is that what happened? Did you shut the water off?
Yes, the crew went out, shut the water at the curb, and stopped the sound, stopped the leak.
Okay.
There was a re-inspection. They went out and they re-energized. The sound didn't stop, so that means that whatever the defect wasn't addressed, and they shut it again. And
okay. When was
that's
the
process.
re-inspection? What was the date of the re-inspection?
Give me a moment, please.
Yeah.
On January 2nd, it says January 2nd re-inspection.
Okay. 24?
24.
Okay.
My apologies. I'm sorry. Handwritten, it says January 6th.
January 6th. Okay.
Yes, it was assigned on the 2nd.
Okay. Mr. Gardner, when did you get the tenant out and shut all the water off?
I got the tenant out December 11th, 2023, 12/11/23. He was evicted.
Okay. What I'm asking is, when did you go back and shut all the water off to make sure no water's running?
No. The water was running fine.
Now you aren't understanding my question. When did you go in and physically turn all the faucets off so there's no running water?
Oh, I did that maybe a couple of weeks later, when I found out I'm sorry, sir, when I came back and I found that the house had flooded out and he had turned all the water on. That's when I went downstairs to check to see where all this water coming, and I turned the water off then.
Okay.
And
what date was that?
That had to be the same. That probably was Monday or Tuesday. Probably
what date?
I think it was the 20th. If it was the 19th, whatever. I don't know the exact date, so I think it was the 20th or the 21st.
Of what month?
December.
Okay. Okay. And that was 23.
Yes.
Okay. Now, have you had your own plumber, based on the violation notice that you've received, do any investigation for you?
No.
Okay. As the homeowner, you're responsible to take care of that if you get a violation notice, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So how would you convince us that the violation was incorrectly written?
Because because I had no issues. I had no issues before that. I was in the house for months redoing it, fixing it up. The water was on. I didn't have no issues. It wasn't, nothing was backed up.
Okay. Well, this isn't about backing water backed up. This is about the water supply line having a leak.
Can I say one other thing, sir?
Sure.
About that where they talking about the water supply line, about I don't know, maybe a year ago, the city came there and they dug up that hole and put down that new lock or something on there, so people can't just go in there and turn the water off and on. The city just came and dug up the thing and put that on there without my knowledge.
Okay, but you aren't understanding the question I'm asking you, and that is, what kind of evidence would you have for us today that will help us understand whether or not the water department properly wrote a violation notice?
I don't, sir.
Okay.
All I can say to you, they said they got in this letter here that they sent me, that's saying that if they do go down there and fix it and they don't find anything, then they don't charge me.
But okay, all right. But you haven't taken any action as a property owner to have a plumber tell you if there was a actual, confirm the city's position that there's a violation leak.
Your, sir, the reason that I did not do that, because I believe the house had flooded out. When it rains real hard in that area, everybody's house in that block floods out. It comes down through the foundation, and it came. It didn't come in through the plumbing. It
Okay.
came in, it seeped down through the ground, and it came in that way. And it was never 3 foot or 6 feet of water in my house.
Okay. Now you understand that all those things could be true at the same time. What you
That is
just
correct,
described.
sir. That
And
is correct.
so it would be to your advantage as the property owner to determine if, in fact, in addition to all the other things you said,
Yes.
that there is also still a leak on your water line, supply line.
That is possible, sir. But I don't want to get into paying somebody some money to come to find out that they dig this hole and that there's no leak.
Well, the plumber may not need to dig a hole. The plumber may be able to do exactly what the water department did and say, yeah, there's a leak.
So if I get so you're saying get a plumber, have him come down, and if he confirms that, then I know that the guy, Mr. Cook, came and his diagnosis was correct. That's what you're saying.
Correct. But at the moment, you haven't done that, and you've asked for it, you've appealed the decision. So this is the date and time that you were supposed to bring your evidence to show that the city's wrong.
I understand that, sir. But see, since I bought that house in 1990, I know that house.
Okay.
And only time that I only had one plumbing issue that I corrected years ago.
Okay.
And
Mr. Gardner, if I may,
Yes.
let me just ask, if I may, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir,
I'm
please.
not sure you heard clearly the testimony of Inspector Cook, and I just want to confirm his testimony because I understand your position, but Inspector Cook said that originally the basement was full of water. The city went and did its normal, the water department, which does this all of the time. And I'm asking Mr. Cook to confirm what I'm saying, that they went out, they made a determination based on what their experience is, that back in December, they found, then determined there was a leak. They then shut off the water. They came back in January, approximately 3 weeks later, and you said in that interim period of time, you had shut the water off in the house. They went and did the similar or tests that they typically do, and the city ascertained in January that there was still a leak in the system, so they shut the water off. So the city has said its determinations are that there's a leak somewhere in the pipe, in the line between, I believe, the curb stop and inside of the house. And you, based on what you've stated, haven't had anyone that you've engaged to verify the city's determination. And what the chairman has suggested is that you needed to do that. Now, whether or not there will be time allocated for you to do that, I think is something we as a board can decide. But the determination was made by the city. They believed there's a leak in the supply line. And you
Sir, is the city ever wrong?
May I finish speaking? And you haven't refuted the determination made by the city.
No, I'm not. I'm not here for that, sir. Go ahead.
Sure you are. That's the purpose of your appeals, to refute the city's position.
Yeah, I know. I'm not. Okay, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I mean, that's why you're here. I mean, that's what an appeal is about. You're challenging the city's position, which is fine. But
Mr.
you have to
Chair,
have
may I ask a
evidence to
question
do
when you
that.
get a chance? May I
Yes,
ask a
sir.
question when you get a
Yeah,
chance?
please.
Inspector Cook, did you inspect this property?
No, sir, I'm the supervisor of the unit. So I had a crew go out and make the inspection.
On the paper says, made inspection, found broken pipe with 6 foot of water through ceiling. Property is abandoned at this time. You didn't make that statement. One of your crew members made that statement.
Yes, so I made that statement by proxy. This is one of my crew members. that may
No,
be
your
inspecting.
name is not on that paper, Mr.
My name is up
Karam is
at the top
inspector.
where it says
Wait.
supervisor.
Everybody speaking at the same time. Wait, we got to stop. Mr. Washington, when he completes his question, sir, Mr. Cook, then you can respond, okay?
Sure.
Mr. Washington?
Okay, like I said, I'm looking on the investigation form. You are on that one, but there's a number of other ones on there. And like I'm saying, when I'm assuming that when you signed off on your team member's report, that he told you that it was 6 feet of water in the basement.
Yes, that's what he wrote.
And how did he find that to be? Because he has on his paperwork, property is abandoned at this time.
Yeah, well, he used abandoned versus vacant. You know, some people use different words. So, so that means that there was no one that was living there. Maybe he peered into the window. I don't know, but
Because
that's part of the inspection to verify what's happening. So you listen for sound, you peer in to verify what the complaint was from the neighbors. The
Now,
neighbors complained.
Mr. Gardner testified that he had a tenant that was in there who destroyed the property.
Yes.
That's what he testified. So so I'm just trying to determine was it determined that this was an abandoned property?
Well,
If I
once
may,
again,
Mr. Robinson, just direct you to the last page of the packet. There is a photo, a recent photo from, I believe, September 21st, 2023 of the property in question. It's a typical Philadelphia row home where one would easily be able to take a look inside the basement through the windows. That's on page 12 of City Exhibit 2.
Are you saying that the blue house is the property we're discussing?
That's correct.
Well, why don't we just ask Mr. Gardner? Mr. Gardner, is the property currently occupied?
No.
How long has it been unoccupied?
Since they were evicted.
Okay. Do you know if there's water service to the house now?
No, there's no water service.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay. Is anything else from anyone? If not, I'd ask Mr. Gardner if you have any final closing statements you'd like to make. And then, of course, Ms. Nesich, representing the city, you will be invited to do likewise. Mr. Gardner?
I would like somebody to come out to my house while I'm there and verify to me that I have a leak. And also the guy said, I believe he said earlier that it was coming from inside the house. And before we even got to my appeal, I called the department about 5-6 times, talked to 3 different people, asking them would they please send somebody out to my house while I'm here. So you can verify right in front of me that I have a leak problem, because I don't think I have a leak problem.
Okay.
In my basement.
Thank you.
I've been here I owned the house since 1990.
Ms. Nesich, anything you'd like to add?
Thank you, Chairman. I'd just like to reiterate the timeline here. The water department first came out. This was the emergency services crew that was called out by the neighbors on Fillmore Street. This was in December 19th, 2023. They performed a re-inspection January 6th, and the leak was still detected. In the interim, the appellant has not called for a private plumber to verify this or dispute the water department's assessment of the situation. The city would ask that this notice be affirmed.
Yeah, thank you. Before we move to calling for the vote, I just want to make a general statement, and this will apply to this case and others that follow from the water department. The homeowner is responsible for the condition of supply lines, water supply lines, as well as all drain lines from the property to the main. That means under the sidewalk to the main street. And if you disagree with a position that the water department has as a homeowner, particularly when the owner is an investor, is to have your own plumber, your own expert, to investigate the matter to determine if, in fact, the city is right, correct or not. You're absolutely right, Mr. Gardner. The city can be wrong, and they may be wrong in your case. But the person who's required, the onus is on the property owner to determine that. And so, as the investor, owner of this investment property, is your responsibility to get a plumber to determine, hey, this is what they said. Is this correct or not? I just wanted to make that general statement because it may apply to others that we may hear later on today. If there are no additional questions or statements to be made, we'll call the vote on this matter. This is HA 2024-000891613 Fillmore Street, Michael Gardner, City Affirm.
City affirmed.
City
We're in the
affirmed.
middle of the vote, so no additional statements, please. I'm sorry, Mr. Pettit, I didn't hear you.
City affirmed.
City Affirm, okay.
City affirmed.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Mr. Gardner, the unanimous vote is city affirmed, which means you lost your appeal. You may appeal our decision. If you need information as to how to do that, call the office, the administrative office, and they will give you information as to how to appeal a decision by the Board of Review. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Thank you very much for your participation.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Have a good day. Okay, what's the next matter?
Chairman, may my witness, Mr. Cook, be excused?
Yes, my apologies. Mr. Cook, you excuse?
Thank
Unless
you.
you just want to hang around with us, you excuse.
Okay, thank you, board. Thank you, attorney.
Okay.
Thank
Okay.
you.
What's the next one?
There was one preliminary matter that was overlooked. I don't know if,
Okay.
Case number 4, I don't know if you had a witness for this, but, hearing appeal ending 0203, 6401 East Ave, Free Ginbot, GHNBOT. That matter was, withdrawn for email through the board. That was forwarded to council.
Okay.
I believe sent to, the board.
Okay, Ms. Nesich, was you aware of that?
I don't believe I received that unless it was emailed to my colleague,
No, it was-
Alexandra
I just sent it-
Athanasiadis.
I just sent it to you
Oh,
about a half an hour ago.
got
I
it.
don't know-
Okay.
I don't know who sent it out.
Thank
Okay.
you.
So we'll note that as withdrawn.
That would
So
take Go ahead.
But just if it Ms. Nesich, if you have a witness waiting around for that matter, the witness is excused.
Well, he's also going to serve as witness for case listed as number 3, so he could stick around for a moment. That's all
Okay.
right.
Sure.
Case number 3, hearing appeal ending 0093, 5743 Filbert Street, Darlene Melton.
Okay. Is Darlene Melton available?
I'm present.
Okay. Good afternoon, ma'am. Would you raise your right hand so that you can be sworn? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give today be the truth so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Okay, thank you. And place your hand down. Ms. Nesich, do you have a witness today?
Yes, Chairman. The city would like to call Antoine Ellis to serve as witness for this matter.
Okay, Mr. Antoine Ellis, if you raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give today be the truth so help you God?
I do.
Thank you. Mr. Ellis, if you could adjust your screen a bit, at the moment it's cutting off your head. We can only see the bottom portion of your face. There you go. Perfect. Thank you very much. Okay, Ms. Nesich, please proceed.
Thank you. So it looks like there was an NOD, again, issued by the Philadelphia Water Department in December of last year, December 5th, 2023, in this case for a defective vent pipe. And yep, those are all of our preliminary comments. The city would like to call Mr. Ellis.
Yes.
And if I may, while I do that, board's indulgence, share my screen. Let me make that larger. Is this visible?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, Mr. Ellis, could you please state your name for the record?
Yes, Antoine Ellis, Antoine, last name Ellis, Ellis.
Can you tell us who you're employed by and in what capacity?
Okay, I work for the Philadelphia Water Department. I am the exams crew chief. for the sewer maintenance division, Mazam's crew chief.
Okay, can you tell me a little bit about your job responsibilities as exams crew chief?
Yes, so we do various things, but mainly when dealing with properties, we investigate the sewage line. So basically, we deal with the water coming out of the house. You know, the vent pipe that's in front of the house is, you know, leading to the sewer, as well as the main line that comes out of the house. So we mainly deal with that when it comes to properties.
Right, and turning to what's on your screen, can you explain what this notice of defect has been issued for?
Yes, so looking at it is saying that it was a cave-in on the block, and this is checked off as a defective part for the vent pipe. So it's saying it was damage done to the vent pipe, and it's also making it to the sewer through the defective vent pipe.
Okay. And how do we know that?
Well, we run a series of tests. So for this one, we will actually run a dye test. So what will happen is we will place dye into the cave-in itself, and we will follow the dye to where the water comes from. So once we seen that the dye was entering the sewer from the actual cave-in, I have inspectors. You know, I have a crew of inspectors. We'll go into the sewer. Sometimes it'll be the lateral itself. We'll crawl up to the actual problem and see where the dye is coming in at, where it's entering the sewer. Or sometimes we have to do further investigations like peer into the vent pipe itself, or sometimes even enter the home and check the basement.
Okay, so one of your crew members visually confirmed that it was exiting through the vent pipe associated with this property?
Yes, so in this one, when they dropped down, it wasn't coming out of the lateral itself. That's the part that actually connects to the sewer main. So when we did you know, on top of the ground, basically like on her walkway, we was able to look down into the vent pipe and could see the dye from the cave-in actually trickling into the vent pipe itself.
Okay, moving on here, we're just going to continue scrolling past this second page. And what is this one here? If you may, Mr. Ellis.
This is that's a notice of intent to actually shut the water off, and usually that's usually sent when the person is being non-compliant after the first notice has already been sent out. This is basically a warning to let you know that your water is getting turned off because you didn't do what you were supposed to do.
Right. And I'm highlighting here a section, the defect poses imminent danger to public health or safety. What kind of danger can a defective vent pipe next to a cave-in or associated with a cave-in present?
Well, the vent pipe itself, it might be sticking out, protruding out of the ground too much, tripping hazard. You know, she wouldn't want that because now she would have a bunch of lawsuits on her hand. But I believe in this particular matter, the cave-in itself, since it's on the footway, anybody can like walk, you know, trip, you know, fall in, hurt themselves. Like basically the cave-in is on the ground, on the pavement in front of her property. So they, you know, they want to get that handled so don't nobody get, you know, we don't want her to get sued as well. Like it's protecting everybody, honestly.
Yes, sir. And here's the final NOD. I just want to note for the board's attention, this was sent to Ms. Melton's address in Elkins Park, VA. Moving on.
Oh, you're going too fast.
So, I can stop whenever you like. These are
okay, Ms. Melton.
Ellis explain. Go ahead, Mr. And I'll make it a little bit bigger.
Just for a moment, Ms. Melton, what happens? The Ms. Nessage has decided what portions of the documents she's presenting as evidence. She's not necessarily reviewing every page or every document. So when you present your case, you are permitted to present your own documents, or you can ask her to put up the documents she had up. So, but that's why she's scrolling too pretty quickly, because that isn't a matter she wants to focus on, which is her right to as she submits her case. Okay.
I apologize if that looked a little bit confusing.
No, it's me. And I sent documentations of why I have issues with the thing. So when it scrolls, something brings with it. Sorry.
Understood.
All right, thank you.
We're just gonna move through these though. I will just note, Mr. Ellis, can we just explain maybe what kind of reports we're looking at really quick and like how they're made?
Okay, I didn't do this one.
Just generally what a city works report is.
Yeah, so basically is what the inspectors tell us and that the crew chief write down. This is what gets forward to the supervisors. So the supervisors take what we wrote, what we say, and they basically reassess it and put it into, this format right here so they can submit it to downtown so that it can be properly, disputed to who it needs to go to.
Right. And so this includes the date, correct? And then
Yes.
also maybe what kind of exam, could you explain just really quick what kind of exam was performed according to this report on 12/5/2023?
Yes, so this is it's basically it's called a SNL exam. So that stands for sewer and lateral exam. And like I said, it's a dye test. We put dye inside the cave in with water, and we basically just track the water and dye to see where the dye is actually coming in at. And it's pretty open and shut. Like it's not too much to it.
Okay. Apologies for the scrolling.
That's okay.
Okay.
You didn't know.
So here I'm going to draw your attention to another City Works report, Mr. Ellis. If we can look at the bottom left-hand corner of this report, we can see that there was a reinspection. What else was noted in this report?
It's a little blurry. I can't actually see it, but
Is that better?
Yeah, that's fine. Crew made an inspection and supposed to for plastic service shut off. So this was saying that it was an actual water leak on the service line as well. This is that's actually a different issue from what I was actually doing. Same property.
If I can remind you, this is this one.
Yeah. So when we've been out there, because I just went back out there the other day, that patch is actually sold up and blacktopped off. But the pavement itself.
Miss Melton, court reporter is trying to record everyone, so please restrain from making any audible noise. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Okay, Ms. Nessich, please, soon.
That issue itself may be true to be fixed, but the problem that we had was actually on the pavement. So that on the sidewalk itself is a hole on the ground now. The hole is still there presently. I just was there the other day. I forgot to send you the pictures of the screenshots that I took, but and that's the issue that we were dealing with, the actual hole that was on the footway. And that's where the dye is coming in at the vent pipe at, and that's what she was rid up for from my unit. So I'm not exactly sure where the fresh water leak come in at. That's a different unit, but I guess it's the same address. It's kind of all mixing the same, but
right. We wanted to clarify that issue.
Yes.
Is this a true and accurate photo of what the property looks like on the street and footway in front of 5743 Filbert, since you visited it recently?
Yes, that's how the block looked. That's not how the sidewalk looks at the moment.
Okay. All right. Finally, let's go over this last one. So we're looking at the customer responsibility chart. Could you please tell me where our defect in question is, where the vent pipe defect is? Can you see it from here?
Yes, so the vent pipe itself would be F and G. Well, F would be the top of the vent pipe. G would be the vent pipe itself that connects all the way down. H is the curb trap. That would be the curb trap. And then you got D, which is the lateral. That's the last part that goes into the sewer itself.
Right. And so through your exams, you found that section is defective?
Yes, between F and H, between F, G, and H, we can see specifically more between G and H. That when we look in through F, when we look down through F, we can see dye enter into the vent pipe, which is between G and H.
Right. And finally, whose responsibility is it to maintain these portions of the piping?
So anything from the property all the way to the curb line, well, I just been taught all the way to the sewer is the property's owner. So anything from the house all the way to the sewer is the property's owner. The sewer itself will be our responsibility.
Right. And so in your opinion, based on your time at the water department, as an inspector, was this NOD issued correctly?
Yes, as far as the vent pipe part, yes, that was,
Yeah.
yes, is clear. Even
Okay.
I went there the other day, it's still doing it. So,
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Ellis.
all right.
Thank you. Any additional questions, Ms. Nessich?
No, thank you.
Okay. Ms. Melton, I just want to
Yes.
make sure I have that correct. Ms. Melton,
Yes.
do you have any
Mhm.
cross-examination of Mr. Ellis based on his testimony?
Yes, I have a
Okay.
few questions.
Okay.
What I didn't notice in the information that Ms. Kenchnick, I don't want to mispronounce
Nessich.
your name.
Nessich.
Thank you, showed. And first, let me apologize to the board. I had sent documentation. I was unable to upload it on the link that
Okay.
was
Miss
sent in this
Melton.
letter, but you
Miss
have it. I
Miss.
have a medical condition, and
Okay.
therefore, that's why I want to apologize.
Okay. But I
Also,
just
if I
want to
place my
help you that the issue now is whether you have a specific question of Mr. Ellis based on
I
his
have a
testimony.
couple. I've
Okay.
been writing them down. I have a
Okay.
couple of questions. One, in the information that you submitted to the board, ma'am, which was the first page, and I agree.
Now you're asking this question of Mr. Ellis. He's the only one who's testified.
Mr.
So,
Ellis? Well,
yeah,
Mr. Ellis, then let me ask you this question.
Yes, ma'am.
This was the whole purpose of why I appealed. I fully understand that homeowners have a responsibility, the city has a responsibility. I inherited that property, been in my family since 1946.
Miss Melton,
But
please, you have to ask a
why,
question.
this is the question. Why, when I received two questions, why, when this letter was submitted, that one, with having where I reside at, that the notice was not sent to me, and why on the second page of the cave-in notice, it did not clearly show, hopefully you can see this, where it was supposed to be marked so that I could see where it was at. I was told.
Okay, let's let him respond. Let him respond. You've asked the
Okay,
question. He
thank
needs to
you.
respond. Mr. Ellis, do you understand the question?
Partly, she's saying that the paperwork wasn't marked off where the problem occurred at.
There's no marks, and I submitted that.
Is there comments on there?
It's the first page that was shown. Cave-in, combined system, defective vent pipe. It says dye placing cave-in, dye shown in sewer, defect VP. I had the 10 days, and I did get when I did get this, I faxed over to the water department, and I called.
Well,
Okay, Miss Melton, I don't understand.
It was
What is the
not.
question? Well, what is the question? I'm not sure I understand the question.
The question is, you're saying to me combined system. I'm not a plumber. I don't know where the combined system, and your documentation left at the property, okay, and I didn't get to me until a while, did not show me exactly where this combined system is. The combined system is very close. When I went to the property and I submitted pictures to the board, you should have them because it came through your email system, the cave-in was not on my payment. The cave-in was in the street. And yes, it has been repaired, but I have asked from your department, and you didn't do the second. You did not do the second. So
Let's
my
have
next
him.
question.
Let's have him respond if we may, so that
Yes.
Then you can get to presenting your understanding of things. But in the meantime, we just want to get his testimony off on the record. Mr. Ellis, do you have any further responses based on the question from Ms. Melton?
Yes, it was two different issues with the property. The one that she's talking about, the one in the street, that's more of a fresh water. That's fresh water. That's like the water. That's a water service line issue. And I'm not saying that she didn't get that correct or not. We were the one that I'm here for is the cave-in that was actually on the footway where the dye is getting in to the vent pipe. That sewage that we're dealing with, that's the water coming out of the house. So I just want her to understand that they're not the same issue. They're two different issues.
Would you also describe for her what a combined system means? That
Yes,
I
so
think that's the level of
yeah,
confusion.
I get it. So a combined system mean that storm water as well as sewage water is going into it. Like that's the main sewer. You got some areas of the city where it's a separate system. You got your storm water and it doesn't combine with the sewage water. They keep it separate. So, but the combined system mean that it's all in one. Your storm water from rain and that come out of your downsprout, as well as your feces and everything that come out of your house, is all going to the same system. That's why they call it a combined system.
Any more questions, Ms. Melton?
Yes. Okay.
And the paper.
In the combined
Wait,
system,
Mr. Ellis, wait a minute. She has an additional question for you.
yes, in the combined system, you're saying it's going off the roofs and it's going through the sewer line. I am very much aware that that street and the way that the sewer lines were made, that this problem has been in existence because the pipes are very, very old. Now, is it possible, and that was one of my questions when I got this, is it combined because it's a row house and the picture that was submitted and shown shows how my payment, which is not caved in, and the payment and the vent pipe right next to my neighbor, 5745 is very close to. And it is possible you didn't come out to the second, but I got 3 different work orders because it seems like the water company.
Ms. Melton, please ask the question. Please ask the question.
Well, is that possible? Because honestly, I realized what is my responsibility was the city. But from a glance and with not being told initially what it was, it makes me think that I'm trying to fix what's mine and what's yours. I did not get a bill. I pay my water bill. My water has not increased.
Okay, Ms. Melton, let him respond to your question. Let him respond. You asked the question. I want him to respond.
Okay.
She is correct. It's closer to her neighbor's property than hers, the actual cave-in on the footway. The problem is because we dye tested both of y'all properties, you know, like I said, it wasn't the cave-in itself isn't the problem, because then y'all just would have had to do that yourself. The problem is that the vent pipe, the dye is actually entering your vent pipe, not your neighbor's vent pipe.
Okay.
So that we just, that's why I said we follow the dye in the water where it actually goes to. We're not doing nothing off of just the look. We actually perform the test. When we put the dye inside the cave-in that's closer to your neighbor's house, unfortunately, the dye was still going in your vent pipe.
Okay. Now, with this issue, the first issue that started all the other issues, I know that my neighbor who rents that property from an LLC was getting water into their property. Now, when I fixed my vent pipe, okay, because I had no problem if it's really a problem. But again, I had asked and I talked to Miss Richardson.
Okay, Ms. Melton, you have to be specific in your question. Okay, I hate to keep doing this, but I need you to please ask a question. And that's okay if you don't have additional questions. You can always testify later and to make your case, but just ask a question so we can get it on the record. Okay.
Well, he probably can't explain why I got 3
Okay, we'll
different
go on
work
to the
orders.
next question. Do you have another question?
I think he answered one. And then how many times you said you'd been, okay, wait a minute. And then you said it was the sewer line, but you didn't notice anything at the time about the lateral, because I did get a plumber to come out. I guess my next question to you is, if you had the initial work order and it's for the property, then when I send facts and we're still talking about the property, Why do I get different work orders? Because in my eyes, it makes it seem that the city water department isn't, I guess, together in knowing exactly what's going on. This is the first time I'm hearing that you did check next door, because I'm the one who emailed Miss Richardson because I
Miss
had to check
Melton,
next door.
Miss Melton, you're continuing to testify
I'm
and
sorry.
amplify.
I'm
You
so
have to
sorry.
ask
I'm
a
so
specific
sorry.
question and let
I'm
him
sorry.
respond, and then you go on to your next question, okay?
So, okay, so you
Because
did
we
go.
we have a limited amount of time because we have a lot of other cases to hear.
I,
Because we
I'm sorry, and I got therapy later today, so you're right. I'm gonna try to hush. Um, Mr. Ellis, I guess that's my question. That you did go next door, but you didn't find anything in the lab.
No, yes, their FAI had no dye coming out, and when my inspector went into the sewer, their lateral was fine.
Thank you.
Your lateral was fine as well. It just was the dye getting in your vent pipe.
Okay.
okay.
And would this make a problem in my home?
Eventually, not now, no, but the more that water can get in through the vent pipe, water and dirt don't mix. So the more that happens, the worse that cave in that's right there is going to get bigger and bigger because it's going to keep eating the dirt away. You know, water and dirt don't mix, so and water gets in the vent pipe on a regular. So you would
Okay.
need to get that fixed.
Well,
Okay,
how
Miss
quickly does the
Melton.
cave-in happens? How
I mean, Miss
quickly?
Melton, we aren't going to deal with how the cave. We're going to move on, okay?
Okay, let's move on, then I can finish.
Okay. So, Ms. Milton, I do want to respond to you regarding one issue. In terms of the mailing address for that property, have you given the city your address at your residence to receive your mail? Or have you changed the designation on the city records?
Sir, I inherited that property,
That's not what I
and wait a
asked.
minute, and it's
No, no,
on
no, no, please, please. No,
Philadelphia dot it's
Miss
on
Milton,
Philadelphia dot
Miss
gov.
Milton, Miss Milton, Miss
I did
Milton,
a mailing address thing.
Miss Milton, Miss
Yeah,
Milton, please help me out. Let me explain to you why I'm asking you that question. So
hold on.
that if you haven't done it, you can do that. Uh,
City
what
is
every property owner, if you live somewhere else, is encouraged, required to tell the city, the tax review board, others entities, please mail all issues regarding this address to my mailing address, and
A-
that's
in
and
answer to
LNI is included. Did you do that?
in answer to your question, that has been done several times.
Okay, thank you. I just
Okay.
need to know that if you've done that, then okay.
Yes, I have. Yes, I
Okay.
have. Got documentation.
Mr. Chair, if I may,
Yes.
I'm looking at the exhibit documents and they were all sent to Darlene Melton at 1829 Chelsea Road, which is the address that was on her appeal and which I believe is the address where she is now speaking to us from.
Yeah. Okay.
Initially, they have been, but not initially. Initially, they were posted pieces of paper that I still have. And after I had my stroke in November, I had family to go down to look at the house. This is what is posted. Then after I again emailed the water company, and emailed Miss Richardson in license and inspection, who I was told that's where I had to do my appeal, that I questioned why. Because the city has everything about me.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's when they started to send me.
Okay.
And I got a last letter from the water department this month about another shutoff. But again, I faxed them. This property has a hearing.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Ms. Nessich, do you have any additional witnesses?
No, that will be all.
Okay. Ms. Melton, do you have any additional information you want to share with us regarding this issue of the broken vent pipe?
All I'm gonna say to the board is that I submitted via email different things. And again, I really can't get too stressed. I was down at the property no more than 2 months before. I emailed that to a Miss Richardson. My payment was fixed, the whole pavement, because my understanding from talking to my neighbors is that the city trucks go on, and that's why, because the city trucks go on, and that's why, because the city trucks go on, and that's why, because the city trucks go on, and that's why, because the city trucks go on, and that's why, because the city trucks go on, and that's why, because the city trucks go on, and that's why, because the city trucks go on, and that's why, because the city trucks go on, and that's why, because the city trucks go on, and that's why, because the city trucks go on, and that's why, because the city trucks go on, and that's why, because the city trucks go on, and that's why, because the city trucks go on, and that's why, because the city trucks go on, and that's why, because the city trucks go on, and that's why, because the city trucks go on, and that's why, because the city trucks go on, and that's why, because the city trucks go on, and that's why, because the city trucks go on, and that's why, because the city trucks go on, and that's why, because the city trucks go on, and that's why, because the city trucks go on, and that's why, because the city trucks go on, and that's why, because the city trucks go on, and that's why, because the c that pole is there to stop people from coming up onto the pavement. I went down, physically went down there, had someone bring me down there, and I took the picture that I submitted prior to that last picture that you have that was sent as from the city. That cave-in was, it was bad, but it's strange to me that a cave-in would be that bad in, say, 2 months. Okay, I had repeatedly asked the city not to turn the water off because when I go into the property, I need to have the bathroom working and things like that. Again, I sent you what I have. I'm not trying to say I'm not willing to fix my property. It never was like that. It's not vacant where it's abandoned or anything like that. There's even people on the block that want to live in my house because they know I come down there. Unfortunately, I had a stroke, not one, but two in November. I'm saying my thank yous. I'm talking to you. I'm able to walk and talk. But all I wanted to know from the very beginning is exactly where it was at so that I could rectify it. And what I sent you was the estimate from the plumber. I've even asked Miss Richardson, and they told me that the water department and my plumber could go out because I physically couldn't come down there. Now, I actually got a relative who will take me down there Saturday. But the last time they were down, again, to pick up something that was left, and I had to email, like, why is this happening when you know where I'm at? Okay? It's a matter of public record, my address, when I pay my taxes, I pay the water bill every month. The
Okay,
water bill hasn't
Miss
increased.
Melton.
I'm just at a loss.
Okay, Miss
Last thing
Melton.
I will say, I'm willing to fix what I need to fix. I just need to make sure that the cost is not all on me.
Okay, Miss Melton. Miss
I'm
Melton.
for this.
Miss Melton.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I get excited sometimes.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
That's why we want to help you out here. As the property owner, as I said earlier in the last case, you may have heard, the
Yes,
property
yes.
owner is responsible for the sewer line
Mhm,
to the house. And
mhm.
so you've done the right thing. I assume you've got an estimate from a plumber, which you said you have.
I
Um,
submitted it to the
if
board.
you believe that the water department or any other city vehicle has caused the damage to your property, then you have a legal right to take action against the city. In terms of what the
Yes,
board itself can do, we're
yes.
here to determine if the violation notice that was written by the water department was written correctly, meaning do you actually have a broken vent pipe? And if that's what we get to decide, we do not get to decide who
Mhm,
shares the cost of that. Uh, Current city code says the homeowner is solely responsible for that. And if you
mhm.
feel that the city caused the damage, then you can take action against the city to help to recover your costs.
Well,
But
thank you for
in the
letting
mean,
me know that, because
in the
again,
ma'am, well,
mhm,
please, because I'm trying to get it out, so only one person can speak at a time.
mhm,
So that's where we are at the moment. We've heard your evidence. We've heard from the city.
okay.
I think we're at a point now where we're prepared to poll the vote. Uh, it it so as a
Well, did they
the
turn the water off? I guess I know Saturday when I get there.
well, you should have gotten the notices. There was a shut off. Now, the other thing that as a non-resident property owner, you should have a Philadelphia agent who's responsible for checking on your property on a regular basis. And so that would be
This
the
is not
property
true.
owner. Ma'am,
This
see,
is
you speaking over me while I'm trying to finish my statements. As a non-resident property owner, the city requires that you have a city agent who represents your interests, someone who regularly visits the property, pick up any notices, and can respond to issues. So I just want to call the vote on this matter, okay? All right, so let me do that because I think we've heard all the testimony we need.
yeah.
Okay?
Okay, there's some things you just didn't know.
Okay. HA-2024-000093. 5743 Filbert Street, Darlene Melton. My vote is city affirmed with a 90-day stay of enforcement.
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 Thank you. Ms. Melton, the unanimous vote is city affirmed with a 90-day stay of enforcement. What that means is that you've lost your appeal, but we've said to city they can't take any additional enforcement action for 90 days. That gives you an opportunity to hire a plumber to investigate the matter and determine what's required to repair it. Okay?
Well, if I get down there Saturday and they already turned off the water, then what shall I do?
You have to proceed to get the repair made, and they'll come back and you call them about the repair, and they would have a procedure for turning the water back on.
Mr. Chair, I think, Ms. Melton, if you do get a plumber to make the repair, they're probably going to need a permit from the water department to repair your line. So it'll be called to the attention of the city that you've got someone making the repair. So you just need to find a plumber who's going to make the repairs, and the process probably will work itself out because you'll need a permit, or your plumber will need a permit to make the repairs.
Thank you, but in your documents I sent you, I did call a plumber that's licensed, or I believe licensed with the city of Philadelphia. And that's why I was asking certain questions.
Okay.
My only issue was that it was not clear. The water department didn't make it clear to me. And again, thank you. Okay, for your time. And it's a 90-day. And hopefully they didn't turn it off because
I don't know. They may have. I don't know. We don't know the status of that. But
I don't even drive anymore. I'll see Saturday. I'll see Saturday. Thank you, everybody, for your time.
okay. And actually, Mr. Ellis, can you confirm whether the water has been shut off or not?
No, I can't. I wouldn't be able to confirm if the water's been off or not.
Okay.
Well, could the person that sent that last order, because you got 3 different.
Okay, wait. Now, we aren't going to take any additional testimony.
Well, then can I go in the break room and just give him the work orders and maybe he can look it up? It will save me.
Well, let me
Then
ask.
I can call the plumber.
Wait. Okay, let me respond to your question. You asked me if you could go in the breakout room. Ms. Nessich, are you available to do that, or would that be appropriate?
That would be fine.
I
I don't think I could do it expeditiously. How about I email you or call you after I find out? I'll be able to confirm.
You be able to confirm? Okay.
I'll find out, but
call you.
I wouldn't be able to find out quickly, and I have one more case to handle.
I understand. Okay.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you for all your consideration. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Mr. Wade, what do we have next?
There were 2 agreements made during the course of those matters, and they are council's last matter. So can we recall case number 18 that was previously continued?
Okay.
Case number 18, hearing appeal ending 0204, 1409 North 21st Street. Pencoid Ironworks, Inc.
This is Thomas Guyutza representing the city.
Good afternoon. Is the representative for Pincoit Ironworks still available?
I believe that they left the session, but we did come to a settlement agreement, which I would like to read onto the record.
Yes, sir. Please.
We have agreed upon a city affirmed with a $300 fine.
Thank you. City affirmed $300 fine. Thank you very much. Okay, the other matter, Mr. Wade?
I believe it was matter 21, hearing appeal ending 0216, 2611 South Marshall Street, Chang Yu Zhang.
Okay.
And this is Thomas Guyutza again for the city.
Yes, sir.
The party has left the meeting, but we have come to an agreement in this matter. We have agreed to a city affirmed with a $300 fine.
$300 fine. Okay, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. May I be excused, as that was
Yes,
my
sir.
final business for the day.
You may be excused.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Okay. All righty.
Mr.
Wade?
Chair, Mr.
Yes,
Chair,
sir.
we have a William Brown that's laying in bed on the screen.
It's William Brown.
Yeah.
It just seems he's reclining. Mr. Brown, are you on your sofa or in your bed? You're muted, sir.
Because of the same William Brown, this case was decided some time ago. We complied.
Okay. But let's do this. Mr. Wade, if you could give this person a call after we call this next case and help him
I don't,
check it.
I mean, I'll assume it's for that matter, but
We'll see if we can get some understanding of that. Thank you, Mr. Washington. Okay, what's the next case?
that brings us back to case number 6, hearing appeal ending 0402, 3736 North 13th Street, Sylvia Cherry.
Okay. Alrighty. Ms. Nessich, I assume that's your matter?
Yes, thank you, Chairman.
Okay, and your witness?
The city would like to call Mr. Hashim Murphy. I believe that he is logged in under a different name. I believe he's logged in under the name Delricia Hussey. Right
Okay,
now,
but what?
should be able to log in.
Okay. Sylvia Cherry. Is Sylvia Cherry available? Mr. Wade, is there anyone listed with that name, Sylvia Cherry?
There was no one listed for Sylvia Cherry. At some point early in the hearing, I got a message from, oh, that was from Hassan Murphy. So that's the city's witness, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so let me confirm service on Miss Cherry.
Okay.
Appellant listed as 4620 Piling Street as their address on their appeal application. Service was made to 4620 Piling Street on 3/4/2024.
Okay. Ms. Nessich, no one is responding to the call for Sylvia Cherry. What is your preference?
The city would ask that you find in our favor for this
Okay.
notice.
Alrighty. Mr. Pincus, what time do you have?
3:10 PM.
3:10 p.m. Okay, thank you very much. We'll call the vote on HA 2024-000402-3736 North 13th Street, Sylvia Cherry, City affirmed non-appearance.
City affirmed non-appearance.
City affirmed non-appearance.
City affirmed non-appearance.
Thank you very much. Okay, Mr. Wade, what do we have next?
Before that, Chairman, would
Yes.
I please be excused and my witness as well?
Yes, you may be excused.
Okay, thank you. Have a wonderful afternoon.
Thank you.
That brings us to case 27, hearing appeal hearing appeal ending 1604 916 West Huntington Street, Anthony Branch.
Okay, who's handling that matter?
John was working for the city, but I believe there's a mistake and this case should have been marked as moot complied.
Oh, moot complied?
Yeah.
Okay. Please note the record that this matter is moot complied. Thank you very much. Ready?
Case number 31, hearing appeal ending 1704 4506 Linmore Avenue, Juanita Jefferson.
Okay, who's representing the city?
That is also me, John was working for the city.
Okay, is anyone anyone present responsible for 4506 Linmore Avenue, Juanita Jefferson? Juanita Jefferson. Okay, no one's responding. Mrs. Reserve.
Jefferson listed 4550 Linmore Avenue as her address, and service was sent to 4550 on 3/4.
Okay. What time do you have, Mr. Pincus?
May I just confirm the address that's on the list is 4506? Is that the address you have, Mr.?
No, the address on the address of the violation was 4506. The appellant's address, I believe, is 4550. I confirmed it a minute ago. The appellant's actual address is 4550 Linmore, and that service was sent out on 3/4/2024.
Thank you. The
Okay.
time, Mr. Chairman, is 3:12 PM.
3:12 p.m. Mr. Wazorek, what is your pleasure?
The city would request this matter be marked as city affirmed failure to appear.
Thank you. HA 2023-001704-4506 Linmore Avenue, Juanita Jefferson, city affirmed non-appearance.
City affirmed for non-appearance.
City affirmed non-appearance.
City affirmed non-appearance.
Thank you very much. I think that matter is disposed of. Okay, what's our next matter?
Case number 38, hearing appeal ending 1806 909 Sanger Street, Lee Bui, B-U-I.
Okay, who's representing the city?
Pete Bagelman for the city of Philadelphia.
Afternoon, Mr. Begerman. Anyone present representing 909 Sanger Street? 909 Sanger Street, Lee Boy, B-U-I. Lee Boy. Okay, Mr. Begerman, no one is responding to the call. What is your pleasure?
Service was made at 909 Sanger Street.
Thank you very much. Mr. Begerman, what is your pleasure?
Yes, this be marked as a city affirmed failure to appear.
Okay, thank you. Mr. What time do we have?
It's 3:14 p.m.
3:14 p.m. Okay. We will poll the board on HA-2023-001806 909 Sanger Street. Excuse me, city affirmed non-appearance.
City affirmed for a non-appearance.
City affirmed non-appearance.
City affirmed non-appearance.
Thank you very much. Okay, Mr. Wade.
I believe this is the final matter. Case 52, hearing appeal ending 2449 4952 Reno Street, Dennis Morgan.
Excuse me. Who's representing the city?
Lee Bagelman for the city again.
Okay, thank you. Who's representing the appellant? 4952 Reno Street, Dennis Morgan. Anyone present? There's no response. Mr. Begerman, what is your pleasure?
Service was made at 4952 Reno Street. They addressed
Thank
it on the appel.
The city also requests that this be deemed a city affirmed for failure to appear.
Thank you. Mr. Pinkins, what time?
3:15 p.m.
Thank you. Let's call the poll the board on HA-2022-002449 4952 Reno Street, Dennis Morgan. City affirmed non-appearance.
City affirmed non-appearance.
City affirmed non-appearance.
City affirmed non-appearance.
Thank you very much. Is that it, Mr. Wade?
I believe that's all I have, yes.
Okay, unless I hear something from anyone else. That
Well,
concludes.
I have a question, Mr. Chairman. I
Yes,
just
sir.
I just want to confirm, if I may, item 27 916 West Huntingdon Street. How was that disposed, Mr. Wade?
Moot complied.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. If there's nothing else, I noticed that there was a Janet Lloyd who's muted. Ma'am, was your matter resolved? Your hands are up.
Is the speaker on? Yes, the city sent a cancellation of the violation. They did realize it was their fault, and
Okay, but what address is your address on today's list?
it should be. You sent a letter.
What's your address?
5632 Wendell Avenue.
The first case, Mr. Chairman.
Yes. Yeah, that matter is noted as moot. It was read into the record as moot. I don't know if you heard that or not.
No, I didn't hear it. And
Yeah,
what's
that
moot?
means, well, that means it's resolved. You didn't have to sit through the hearing. It's been taken care
Oh,
of.
I didn't even hear my name come up. Can I
Yeah.
ask? Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's why we said everybody pay close attention, because we read off the names and the disposition. And that address and your name was read earlier.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Is it okay, sir, if I ask one question?
Okay, it's limited.
Okay. All right. I put out $300 to pay for a plumber to check my line, and it wasn't me. It was an error that they made that it was me. Can I get my money refunded?
You'll need to call the water department and discuss it with them.
Okay.
Okay?
All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right. May we leave?
Yes, absolutely. You excuse. Please have a good afternoon.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Is there anything else from anyone before we close today's hearing? Thank you so much, everyone. Have a good afternoon. That concludes today's hearing.
Everyone have a great day.
Thank you.
Too. Good afternoon, everyone.
I'm sorry, sir. Oh, I was here. I'm just want to check my case. Is it
Okay.
resolved?
What's your address?
Sorry, my address is 216 South 43rd Street. I heard that my number is 49.
Yes, that was taken care of. It was moot complied. Your violations were complied.
Oh, okay. So that means there's no penalty, no fines.
As far as this matter, I can't confirm. I mean, I can, give me 1 second.
Thank you, sir.
The fines weren't, if there were fines, they weren't before this board.
Hi, Rich. Was 2611 Marshall Street called?
Just give me one, yeah, I'll look, give me 1 second.
Yeah, sure.
I don't see any fine at this time for the property at South 43rd Street, okay?
Okay. Oh, thank you so much.
That only pertains to the violation that you applied, that you appealed, so I don't want you, I can't search the whole property for you right now, but for this one, I don't see anything, okay?
Okay, perfect. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Bye.
Take care. Ken, I'm sorry, what were you asking, Ken?
Sorry, I thought you were done with her. 2611 South Marshall Street. I didn't hear that called.
Was it AIU? What kind of case was it?
Yes, it's an AIU case.
City affirmed per agreement with a $300 fine. They made that during the hearings, they made that agreement.
Great, thank you.
All right, take care.
You too.